Today I replaced the hard drive in my Macintosh HD. My Macintosh SE. I am having trouble talking today. And I replaced it with a 250 meg drive from a Quadra 610. I'm reinstalling the operating system on the computer right now. Quite an upgrade, 250 megs in an SE, when it originally had this really, really heavy 20 meg, like 3000 RPM mini scribe SCSI drive. Replaced it with a Quantum Pro drive. We're going to be getting some of my stuff off of that here in a minute. Just let this finish, it shouldn't be much longer. And it took me forever to figure out that this was just a double density drive and that there was actually nothing wrong with it. I couldn't get it to work. Hang on, there's something on the lens of this camera. Give me a break. I just smeared it around. Anyway. This floppy disk drive, thought didn't work. I was just trying to use high density disks in it, and then I realized it was a double density drive. So I taped over one of the holes on a high-density disk and formatted it as double density. And surprisingly enough, while it doesn't seem like that should work, it does. That's an 800K disk in there. That's really a 1440K disk. And it has the operating system on it as of right now, because for some reason this computer wouldn't boot up from the system disk, so before replacing the hard disk, I had to make a system disk called the disk Dude What Up. I had to make a system disk and boot up from it to start the setup process. It was really weird. Let's go ahead and restart. Holy crud! Holy crud! That was fast! That mini scribe drive is so slow. Dang! Dude! This thing is blazing! That is amazing. And since it's System 6, the system folder is the only thing on the hard drive, I could put System 7 and it would increase the speed a great deal, but then games wouldn't work. And that's the main reason I have System 6 on here. Sometime I would like to upgrade the RAM and put System 7 back on there. Because I like System 7, but it just wasn't, this computer wasn't cut out for it. You may now switch off your Macintosh safely. That's a different message from System 7. System 7 says it is now safe to switch off your Macintosh for some reason. So quantum drives have a really long spin down time. I don't know if you ever noticed that. I have the lid taken off of this Power Macintosh, which has been featured in many a video. And I'm going to plug in the mini scribe drive into the last SCSI connector on here. It has a Foxconn SCSI Terminator on this one. It was taped on their factory. Put the camera down for a second. This is where the zip drive used to be plugged in. I actually had to disable the Omega driver because it was crashing the system on boot because there was no Omega device connected. Like, that's just a terrible design. I mean, zip drives have a terrible design anyway. Like, they're really, really unreliable. And I only use them because it's, like, just kind of what I have. But like, that's a stupid design. Okay, that freaked me out. My Mac Mini just went to sleep and for some reason scared me. Now, this computer should be plugged in. I think that's the one plugged in. Now, watch this. This is the interrupter right here that moves the head. This thing uses such a loud stepper motor. Checked that one for a system first, then booted up from the internal IDE drive. Which takes forever for some reason. Like, I don't know why it shows the Happy Mac for so long. It didn't used to do that. Sorry, I have a terrible cough. I don't know why. Welcome to Mac OS. There, the head just parked. I heard it. I'm just going to copy the entire contents of this disk into a folder on the system's primary disk, because this is a 20 gig. I'm going to copy an entire 20 megabyte drive onto a 20 gigabyte drive. So yeah. Oh my goodness, it's getting worse, I swear. This is definitely not the fastest booting machine I have by any means. But with this Mac Store 20 gig drive in there instead of the Quantum Fireball, it's a great deal faster. Booting up. There's my mouse cursor. Here in a second, once I enter my password, it'll start accessing the mini scribe disk. Keep on dropping the camera on accident. Nice Symantec disk light, or Norton disk light, whatever it is. You can see it up there. Camera's not exposing right. There, I just heard that drive. It's not loud or anything. I can't hear that wrong. It's hard to enter a password with one hand for some reason. Yesterday, I accidentally typed in my name on Space Quest as being my password. And it was hilarious because of what my password was. I'm not going to say my password because I think I actually still use that password on some websites. And, you know, can't be too careful. And, funny thing, those are the actual desktop icons that were on that thing all that time ago. Probably saw those in a YouTube video. And this old version of ClearanceWorks does, in fact, work. Camera, please focus. Why did you zoom all the way in? That was dumb. I actually have ClearanceWorks 4 or something on here on the system drive, but this version still works okay. Just not very new. And then it'll melt. Whoa, that runs so fast on this thing. Okay, that runs insanely fast on a PowerPC processor. There's an old version of Disklight, I'm pretty sure. There's the screensaver software, which I have After Dark installed, but this is by no means like there's nothing not cool about this at all, man. It is pretty sweet. It looks really cool and probably work really well on this computer. I'm gonna go ahead and install that after I'm done, I guess. But now I don't know if I'm gonna go ahead and like I don't know. That was interesting. Okay. Okay. handheld camcorders. Sorry. Plus, I'm trying to use the computer with my recessive hand. If that's even the correct word for it. I don't ever remember. Now this should go pretty quick. 2.4 megabytes available on this old thing. So I'm copying, this is kind of funny, two very different ages. I'm copying from a 20 meg mini scribe stepper motor drive, stepper motor interrupter drive, to a 20 gig Mac Store IDE voice coil drive. They sound very different and have very different speeds and very different sizes. And very different weights. That mini scribe drive is heavy. You have no idea how heavy it is. Ready-made buttons. That's a new one for me. You can kind of see the stepper motor very slowly moving there. Good thing about this is that while there's probably going to be a few bad sectors on the drive that I'm going to have to somehow skip over, unless it figures that out itself. These old stepper motor drives were really, really reliable. One of the things that's so weird about these old stepper motor drives, they don't sound like what you would expect a hard drive to sound. Like, nowadays you expect a hard drive to sound clicky. Not like a thing that's ticking and about to blow up. And you can tell it's going slowly over the disk because the interrupter is almost at the end of the disk now. And that was an entire hard drive, guys. Already done. Back in the days when things could be that fast. Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and actually install the screensaver software. I'm going to disable After Dark. Off. There we go. It does that every time. I don't know why it does that. Check out that screensaver, dude. Okay, then. Oh, wow! Set that at like 5. Okay, that looks good. Dyson's Folly, what? And let's do, Diamond. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I'll leave it at that. Wire color. Single color, of course it would be set to pink. I'm gonna leave it at that because my cousin will judge me. Adjustable length. Nah. I'm gonna go a little over here. I'm not exactly sure what that's really doing. Stripes random. Stripes equal. Animated colors. Okay. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and... Sleep rectangle needs to be down here. I don't want to leave them the same because then there will be like weird spots on the screen at the edges of the original Mac resolution. You can check this box that says run on shutdown, but that only works with AT class max. And sometimes prevents the hard drive from spinning down, so it's kind of just not a good idea. Click mouse to continue. Yeah, so say about Moir 4.01. But I could find that on the internet somewhere. Oh yeah, it also does this nifty thing. Adds a menu bar clock to versions of the OS that don't have a menu bar clock. So, very nifty. Yeah. I guess I'm going to reconnect the zip drive, so extensions manager. Guess I went past it. Here it is, the Omega driver. And there you have it, folks. Yes, I am. Cellos. And I just totally accidentally opened the menu. Now, what worries me about this drive is, it sounds like it may be a little rusty. It kind of squeaks when it's spinning down. But, you know, it's old. The old thing could use a rest, probably. Well, that's probably a bad idea. Electronics can break if they are left sitting around not doing anything. Good to keep them in check. And also notice this interesting thing. It has this bright, shiny sticker that says, "Do not rotate interrupter." So that's interesting. I guess I'll put the zip drive back up. And there was this thingy that converted Molex to floppy drive power. It was just on there so tight that I had to have my football player cousin pull it off. Even his brother couldn't pull it off, and he's pretty strong too. So, and even this football player kid was having trouble pulling that off. Like, that was ridiculous. Must have been factory installed by a machine. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.